So we get to the weaker Superman film, so I'm not going to bother with Supergirl. Superman 3 is okay. Richard Lester come back to direct this one. I don't think his heart was in this one. I think it was like, go do this one so you can make films you want to make after it, type of deal, where basically he was making it for a hit. And I think he'd had his fill with the character at this point, so there's sequences where he still has some fun with the character, then there's sequences where you can tell he's kind of had enough. So it's like, the film goes up and down because there are bits he's interested in, other bits he's just not interested in. So the best stuff is evil Superman. I mean, the explanation of why he becomes evil Superman is nonsense, but evil Superman is basically Superman's been poisoned. He has to, the worst parts of the character come out. He becomes a jerk, he becomes this a-hole basically. He doesn't care about anyone, everyone hates him, he does all these evil things. Eventually the good part of him comes out, he fights himself and takes control again and defeats the virus. And that's the best bit of the film, and it's a bit that scared everyone when it was released because you can't do that with a superhero. And that's why it was good to Richard Lester doing a Superman film, because he does that with any character. It's like, okay, what's below the surface of the character? This is what they present himself to be. What are the demons below the surface that are really affecting them? So he takes Superman home to Smallville again, so he can face up to the people who he grew up with and actually basically work himself and re-establish a bond with some people and see how other people live. And that works quite nicely as well. So that basically Christopher Reeve part of Superman 3 works. It goes in weird directions, but it actually works. I remember it came out, critics hated it, but everyone I knew loved it because it was different, it was just unusual. And if they found another plot to go along with that, it would have been fine, because that was strong. But they had the Richard Pryor subplot, which doesn't work. And he's directed to be very broad, and he's phoning it in. You can tell he's phoning it in. I mean, it's like, he doesn't care, he's just getting the money. And you can tell Richard Lester was just like trying his best to keep this guy doing something, but so he plays up the broadness too. So one of Richard Lester's flaws is sometimes he can go too broad, and this is where it happens in this film, where it goes a bit broad, too broad. And the combination of this director and actor, a director who's kind of over it already, an actor who doesn't seem to care that much, it doesn't work. And the plot they set him up on has some fun moments, the computer hacking stuff, but it doesn't really work. I mean, the best stuff's with actually Robert Vaughn and his extended family, who are all kind of cynical. They have some fun dialogue. It's basically a replacement for Lex Luthor at the moment, that movie. Basically the Lex Luthor dialogue and all the rest of it. It's a fun character. Because he's not Luthor, you can kill him off at the end. It works fine. It's a fun sequence, but the prior stuff kind of sinks the film because the character doesn't make any sense. They adjust everything to keep him alive basically by the end of it, and the character doesn't work, so he sinks the film. But the film's actually okay. I mean, there's some good bits, there's some bad bits. Compared to a lot of films, it's actually pretty decent. Compared to Superman 1 and 2, it's not. But it's in a down slope, but it's not like an appalling film or anything. It's just like, it's a film with a lot of flaws. And they could have made a fourth one. The fourth one was good. That one would have been forgiven, because I mean, some of the Bond films kind of go up and down, knowing as long as the next one's good, they forgive the one that didn't quite work as well. This one, they did Supergirl, which really didn't work. And then they did probably one of the worst films ever made, with Superman 4. I mean, yeah, the tails, the budget was cut. The special effects are appalling. It was shot in the UK, and you can tell they don't try and hide it. Well, they try and hide it, but they can't hide it very well. They keep repeating the same shots again and again with different backgrounds. Basically, they're using the same setup I'm using here, which is a green screen, and you have them doing like this, and they change the background, and nothing else changes. So the effects are now are kind of stuff you can do on your home computer, but probably do it better. So that was a problem with the film. That wasn't the only problem with the film. Even if they did massive effects, this film would still be appalling. At least now it was a cheap bad film rather than an expensive bad film, because the script's even worse than the effects. The script's about nuclear disarmament. Superman destroys the nuclear weapons, and it doesn't work at all. Nothing's explained. They make Nuclear Man to fight him, which is basically a clone of evil Superman. Basically, it feels like evil Superman. It's a clone of him, but it doesn't look like him at all. So obviously they were scared of doing another evil Superman from the same as the third one, so they did something even that was really dumb. It's just this guy going hey a lot and doesn't work. All the kind of political scenes where Clark Kent's dealing with a new one on a daily planet are terrible. The new romance is terrible. Gene Hackman comes in as Lex Luthor as the villain again, and he's awful. Everything's so cheap and nasty, and it gets worse and worse as it goes on. You find yourself at the beginning going, this doesn't work, and then as it goes on, it gets worse and worse and worse, and in the end you're just depressed, because it's genuinely it's worse than Batman and Robin. Script wise, not even effects wise, script wise it's worse than Batman and Robin, because nothing works. I mean, they'll try to be genuine, but it's almost like someone who's 10 years old wrote the script, because they state everything very obviously. There's no characters, there's no subtle motivation, people are just stock figures. All these bland stock figures interacting with each other, leading to fight scenes that are boring. That's all it is. There's no like definite. There'll be the second one where they had Superman as a mythic figure against a crazy world. It doesn't happen here, it's just bland figures kind of saying dumb things to each other and going, and you're just bored. So it's appalling. I mean, it's not a surprise this film failed completely, because it was like an insult to any viewer. So avoid. I mean, I don't have much more to say about it, Marlon. This is a total stinker. There's no redeeming features. This is awful, awful, awful stuff.